Hello there, guys, and welcome back to Bright Founders Talk by Temi, an international software development company that designs, builds, and delivers software for sustainable businesses and promising startups. As you can see, guys, we've got a new guest with us, Frederick Jacobs, CEO and founder of Secury360. Frederick, 360 or 360? How best to say it?
Secury360.
360. Okay, nice. Before we get started and dive into the world of everything that you're doing, I want to fire a few rapid questions at you, just to get to know you a little bit better. And then we will go into the world of Secury360. So, Frederick, are you a morning person?
More of an evening person, but I get up in the morning quite early. But I had swim training already, so I did some sports. So I'm awake.
I've seen this. So you are a sports goer, sport enthusiast, definitely with your swimming as well. We will talk about that a little bit later. Team player or better independently?
Team player.
Are you a risk taker?
Yes.
Work-life balance, is it important to you?
Yeah, very.
Do you enjoy networking events?
Yeah, especially when I can learn a lot and meet people that I can learn from.
Introvert or extrovert?
Extrovert.
Nice. Have you ever pivoted your business's model? Sorry.
Sure.
Are you more focused on short-term goals or long-term?
Long-term.
Do you consider yourself a hands-on CEO?
Yes.
Do you enjoy public speaking?
Yes. I do.
And are you happy with this year's success so far?
Yes, very.
Nice. Good. That's a good start.
Not every year, but this year I am.
That's very good. Frederick, what I want you to do, give us just a quick rundown in a few sentences of everything that you're trying to achieve and tackle at Secury360.
Okay, at Secury360, we are developing a patented software and a product to detect potential burglars at the outside. I have 50 years experience in the security market, and everybody is installing alarm systems, but it's too late because the burglar is already inside, then the alarm goes off. So insurance companies are not happy, you're not happy, nobody is happy. So I think we need to tackle. So a burglar takes 2 to 4 minutes to get inside. We need to detect and stop them there. So we develop a product with a lot of AI, a lot of things around that to use existing security cameras to detect potential burglars at the outside and alarm them there. That's actually the thing that we do.
Very nice. Okay, so what, Frederick, what inspired you to do this? What was the inspiring moment to take that step to build Secury360? And what was the vision of creating this kind of autopilot, in the security market?
Yeah, good that you say autopilot. Nice. So I think in I have a company. I also have a distribution company for almost 15 years, and we were selling a lot of cameras. And in 2016, I thought, okay, why are we selling that much cameras? Because cameras are not doing anything. They just record, and the day after you can see, okay, oh, the guy with the black hat damaged some goods or things like that. So cameras are just dumb things and just nothing.
Reactive.
Very reactive. Yeah, they are. So we are placing a lot of cameras. We're selling a lot of cameras, but we didn't really believe in cameras. So that way we started, okay, we need to sell smart products. And a few years ago, I think it was like 5 years ago, I was really like, okay, why are we placing alarm systems and cameras? The cameras are not doing anything. So we checked the market first to a solution that fit our needs. And you can find a lot of AI products, you can find a lot of hardware products, you can find a lot of physical barriers to detect potential burglars at the outside. No cameras, but like high voltage systems or press sensors in the ground. But nothing really worked. So a lot of problems with false detections, a lot of installation costs. So nothing really worked. So that's why I decided, okay, let's build it ourselves. Why not? We don't have no product development companies in Belgium anymore in security market. So why don't start it ourselves? Yeah.
What made you go into the security kind of tech market though? Was there something before that which interested you in security?
Yeah. I came from school and I've been a sales guy in security cameras. Started my own company 2 years after. I think I was 22 at that moment, doing the distribution part, and from there I'm always in the security market. So I know the market very well, and I think I see the gap Yeah.
Interesting. So what was your original MVP in Secury360? Was it, you just said there where you were starting with the cameras, was that part of a different venture at the beginning? What was the original MVP at Secury360?
Actually, we started with the idea because AI wouldn't fit. So if you have auto detection, potential burglar detection, then you need to be very accurate. A lot of outside detections, they have a lot of false detections, like cats, dogs, rains, and things like that. So the control room is not happy, you're not happy, nobody's happy because it costs a lot of money and it's not a potential burglar. So we thought, okay, if all the big companies can't do it with AI, we can't do it with AI. So we build up like an idea of having a worldwide community adapted. So we have AI on location, but like a worldwide community who's using the app just to give responses. Okay, is there a human or is there no human? So the first idea that we had is was doing it with a community. We never worked out that case. We started the company before, so we started it very enthusiastic, and then we heard a lot of noise in the market that it's not legal. And the most of the big companies, they want to shut us down. We even have meetings with private security, homeland security in Belgium. So it was like a very tough period because it was a very good idea, but I never went it through. But I think it really was the best thing that could happen to us because we were unknown. We should know it before we start, of course. It's a law. It's quite a complex law, and not everybody knows how it works. But now we know it. But because we didn't know, we just started it. If I didn't know it, if I didn't know it before, I never started the company. But because we started already, we invested a lot of money, we left a lot of time. The dream was there. We should go through it, and we built everything on AI. So we saw that we can do it with AI if we do it differently than the hardware companies are doing it. And we really looked, of course, it's an obvious model to look at, but like Tesla as a started up as a software company in a hardware world. So getting all the images from the cars, transfer it to Silicon Valley, or they train their data and they're updating the cars every 2 weeks. So that architecture, it was the same thing. It's like you need to drive with your BMW to the garage to get an update of your GPS system for $300, for example. The security market is really working the same. So you need to do firmware updates. The installers need to do a lot of work. So we really thought, okay, we need to look at this product as a software company and build everything around it like that, like Tesla really did. So that's why we are having the pitch of building the autopilot of security, and that's actually the case.
So tell me a little bit more, tell our listeners a little bit more about how you're utilizing AI.
So we are using AI at this moment just to train, okay, what is a vehicle, what is a person, and what is not a vehicle as a person, so the false detections. And we do it with a two-way authentication. So we have our hardware on location. So we have there quite a strong AI who is very sensitive to not miss any detections. Of course, missing a potential burglary is of course the biggest issue. So never miss anything. And we have a cloud AI running, and the cloud AI is very strict to filter out the false detections. And that two-way authentication, nobody is using it, we see, because they're using it at the edge, and then you get like sensitivity levels, for example. But if it's too sensitive, too many false detections, not sensitive enough, you don't have any detections, but you also miss potential burglars. So that two-way authentication makes the setup very easy and the accuracy very high. So, and that's today, but actually for the autopilot, so today it's still a case. So we have two enemies of outdoor detection. So you get the false detections, but you also have the usage of the system. 95% of the alarms that are coming into a control room are false alerts, or not always false alerts, but there is no burglary. So there is just the owner gets home, forgets his alarm, for example, things like that. The mailman goes into the secured area. So the control rooms are having a lot of work, but there is no potential burglary going on. So the second thing what you're doing is activating and deactivating the system on an intelligent way, but we really see that we will train boxes on every location to see the normal behavior and the abnormal behavior. So it will learn, okay, this is the owner coming home. This is Matt. He's always at home between 6 and 7. He's always parking his car there. So we get to train that he is never entering his building from the backyard with 2 people at 10 p.m., for example. So that's abnormal behavior. So we're really training a big model for every installation, but we're really also training every camera system at site.
Wow. So that takes a long time, the training process of these systems. Tell me, how much has the technology, for example, AI, changed since you started compared to today?
Oh, I think it was already quite good. And I think you have like every few months, I'm not technical, but every few months you get like a new YOLO model, you get a new AI model you can do. But I think it's good to just focus on one model and train it with your own data, because I think one of the biggest values of our company is because that we are collecting a lot of data. So building an AI is not that complex, but collecting the right data and train your AI model to become better and better, that's right, really the biggest challenge, I think. On the other side, we see a lot of hardware changes. So the hardware that's coming out, the GPUs we now have are much more powerful than 5 years ago. The prices are lower, so we see that the AI model is getting more intelligent. So you can train a lot. We have a lot of more data, and we can have a more powerful GPU power to have stronger AI networks. So everything is going in the right direction, and everything is leveling up the right way. Yeah.
Perfect. I mean, that's even better to hear, the right direction for sure. Especially, you were saying that you did have your challenges at the beginning, yeah? So you had your challenges with the law and having to pivot right at the beginning, but it's led you to continue on this path with what you're doing. Tell me, apart from that moment, what has been the biggest challenge for you as a CEO in the tech industry? And how have you overcome it? The biggest challenge for you in this industry?
I think the biggest challenge for us, I think we're a startup company, we're a tech company, and we're in a security world. So the security world is quite negative oriented for startup companies. So because it's like it's security. It's not just like, yeah, you're in the security world, so you get a lot of laws, you get a lot of big companies that are here for 50 years and more. So to get familiar and to get trusted by these kind of companies, you are still a startup company, you are in the tech world. So before they trust you, it really takes a lot of time. So speed. So if you, we started up with patient investors, and they do see all the added value, and we are developing quite good. I think it's a small team, but it's like it's lean, and we are developing quite fast. But you can't do it very fast, because the market is just waiting. Because if there is a security installer, he placing like an alarm system where he plays Security360 at your place, when there is a potential burglar and you miss any burglary, of course the installer gets paid for it. So he don't want to lose his name, he don't want to pay for it, they don't want to have a lawsuit, of course. So before they get trusted with your product, you really need to do a lot before they really get to know your product and starting selling your product. So that's actually so speed is one of the biggest challenges, I think.
So you say speed there, but you also talk about trust. How are you building the trust with your clients?
What we did actually, so first you need trust from your investors that the product will stick, that the product will sell. So what we did is, I got the luck that I'm in Belgium in the security market, so I know a few installers, good installers, and I pitched our ID. And with this pitch, I told these few installers, okay, I will build the product, we will bring it out. I had like a small proof of concept, but we built the product. But you need to buy stock in licenses and in hardware, so upfront. But you will get exclusivity in a certain area. So we contacted 7 installers, 4 of them, they got through with it. So they bought stock from us, they bought licenses for us. So we had some money, to develop, and we had some money. We already have proved to our investors, okay, the product will sell because you're already getting money just by the idea. So that was the first thing. And if we see all the customers that started, all the installers that started with our product are still growing and still very happy and very big fans of our product. So we see that now we are selling like, I think it's about 2.5 to 3 years. And yeah, every week we get questions from the Belgian market from new installers that are just want to grow because they see the marketing, of course. So we do case studies. So, okay, we stop the potential burglar. Okay, contact the end user. What happened? Are you happy? Yeah, without Security360, it would happen. And you stopped it. So it's really a case of doing what you promise, and to ask your customers to jump with you, and they get exclusivity in a certain area. So that really was the best thing to convince everybody. And now all the customers that start with us are fans, and they are posting, they are linking us, like, yeah. So it's coming a nice brand to carry for them as well.
You speak there that you've been selling it for 2.5, 3 years ish now, yeah? What you said this year at the beginning in those rapid questions that you were happy with this year's success.
Yeah.
So has this third year been the most successful for you in terms of being happy? And how come? What has changed this year to make it the most successful?
Yeah, to be honest, we had some hardware issues, not like issues, but supply issues. So we couldn't. So we had the Belgian market. So our existing customers, of course, they could still ordering the hardware, but we were doing a lot of exhibitions abroad. So Scandinavian market, Germany, UK, South Africa, the Netherlands. So we were really like getting out there and shouting that our products exist. But we couldn't do any demos or proof of concept. So every customer that said, okay, I want to test the product, we need to say, okay, hold for a few months because we don't have any hardware. So because of this hardware shortage, we couldn't do our sales process like we should do. And that was fixed like in November last year. Okay. Then we did all the proof of concepts, and after 3 months, everybody started to order. Belgium is growing that fast. So sales is coming in without doing that much from countries where we're already active. So like Belgium is, and the Netherlands is of course local, but it's growing very, very fast, and we are not doing any sales anymore here. But it's because the ball is rolling and everybody hears about our brand and everybody wants to use it to have a better security installation. So that's actually the success that we now have. And on the other hand, we are doing really a lot of exhibitions in a lot of countries. People see us, people get to know us, and our pages, we are building a sophisticated alarm panel for existing cameras, and that pitch really gets a lot of attention. And that's nice to see. Yeah.
But Frederick, with this, obviously you're saying outside of Belgium as well, you're looking at the UK, South Africa. When you're doing this and going to these exhibitions, have you found that you've had to alter your product at all, comparing it with each different country? Do they require something different, or is the security market so clear cut that every country has exactly the same requirements?
On countries, it's quite the same. On sales side, as countries, it's different. So, for example, like control. So we are selling. Our customers can be distributors. We're selling to security installers, and our customers can be control rooms. And we start with this control room approach because, like in Belgium, you have like 7 control rooms, so it's not a lot. In Germany, you have 1,400 control rooms, so it's totally different approach. So you really know that, okay, they are driving very local sales. So it's more interesting there to go to the control rooms and don't go to the security installers to carry our product. So the sales approach is a little bit different. So we don't need to adapt our product on it. What we adapt our product on some vertical markets. So we have like a vertical market, like mobile security units. It's like construction site security. So battery pack with cameras for 3 months, a lot of theft of materials. For that vertical, we did some software changes because they have like 4G connections. So we need to lower the bandwidth. They have like a battery pack, so we need to lower our power consumption. So some different options are built in just for this vertical market. Not for the countries. The countries are quite the same. Only for the sales part. Okay, sales approach to the control rooms, and on the other side, also the price structure. For example, an employee in a control room in Belgium is not the same salary as South Africa, for example. So we are building. So we didn't launch it yet, but we also are building like a lighter version of our solution. So the accuracy is a little bit lower, but the price is also lower because we are using less cloud resources, so the cost is lower. Because like in South Africa, for example, they say, okay, we have a control room. Yeah, the price of false detections is not that high as in Belgium, for example. So, of course, don't push too many false detections. But if you're 97% accurate instead of 100% accurate, it's okay for us. We go for the price value chain. So, but it's more like a price difference than it's really totally a new product.
So it kind of adapting to the market, the market kind of requirements and needs. With that, have you got the light version coming this year?
It will coming this year. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, very nice. Okay, on more of a personal note. So I've seen you, as I said at the beginning, you are an avid swimmer, runner. I think, what is it? Decathlon, marathon or something like this?
No, ultra marathon swimmer. I only swim, but I swim very long distances. Yeah.
Tell me, how has this kind of learning from your ultra marathon swimming, how has this helped you in becoming a better CEO? What have you used in your learnings of sport to be able to make you a better founder, CEO, leader?
Yeah, first of all, I think giving a little bit of an example inside the company that the work-life balance is very important. I think I used to work like 12 hours a day all the time on Saturday. It was also before I had kids, but I used to work that much. And I started swimming a few years ago. I didn't sport that much. Started swimming, just very stupid. Started swimming. Okay, I want to also have some personal goals to it. And by setting that goals, you need to train. So if you need to swim for 6 hours this week or 10 hours this week, you get in the pool and start swimming, because you will not get to your goal. So by having this time schedule, you need to stop working. So your work need to be done between the hours that you scheduled. So I think the focus is much better. Sports make you a better focus, and also the time schedule makes you to focus in the hours that you are working, and you don't have time to work till 10 because you need to swim at 6. So it's really helped me to work faster and more efficient.
Smarter.
I think. Yeah, smarter, a lot smarter. Yeah.
Has it ever got in the way, though? Has this, obviously being a founder, CEO, especially in the early days, it is normal for a lot of founders and anyone working in a startup to be working Saturdays and Sundays as well. Do you think that was a mistake to do it at the beginning, just because you didn't have that kind of the ability to know how to manage your time so well? Or do you think it's necessary to work those hours at the beginning?
It's what you want at that point, I think, because you're starting up the company, and the only thing that you want to do is prove yourself that this company would work. So you really want to work all the time. You really want to get things done. Sometimes it's also necessary because you have your deadlines for investors and things like that. So sometimes I think you just want it, and I also think that that's very important. If you want to work 7 on 7 and you think that that's the best way to do it at this moment, you should do it. Don't do it because you think it's needed. Just do it because you really want it at that point. I think, you can do a lot of things faster. If you work more, you get things done much faster. But I don't think it's good to keep like that. I think also as a CEO, I think when you work 7 on 7, if you get a goal to challenge, but after that, just work 5 to 7 and only 8 hours a day, for example. Because don't get in this trap of that this is your normal working scheduling. It is not normal. If you get some goals, just do it and get for your goal, but then have like a detox and work the normal hours again. I think that's the message I would say.
Absolutely, better having that goal. I mean, that's where you've said yourself, sport has helped Okay, very interesting. Tell me, this question, I love this question. I've never posed this to any of our speakers on the show.
Curious.
But if you could invite three historical figures, living or deceased, to a Secury 360 brainstorming session, who would you invite and why?
Yeah, the obvious one, Elon Musk.
Yeah.
That's quite obvious. Nelson Mandela.
Uh-huh.
I think Richard Branson, the Virgin guy.
Why Nelson Mandela? How would he help here? Because I've got obviously Elon Musk, obvious. Richard Branson, obvious. Nelson Mandela's a different kind of choice here.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, but I think the cause of the good, I think. I think as a company, we also try to figure out, so we want to make the world a safer place. So I think it's very important to not have your technical sales and think those goals, but I think you also need like have higher goals. It makes you much more stronger as a company in bad periods. I think for your, and I think we really need to work on that much more. And I think a person like Nelson Mandela would have very good input to for that, I guess.
Nice. Very nice.
It's not only work and having sales goals. I think
it's very true. It has to have the soul in the company as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, last question for you. If you were to go back in time, if you could learn one thing which you didn't know at the beginning of your journey, not of journey as Secury360, but right when you started I think you said when you were 22, when you started your first company, what would you wish you knew then, which you now know?
Even more, listen to other people that did it before, to learn from it and also follow it. I think like in the beginning, I thought work hard and it will pay off. And I did the networking and getting to know a lot of more smarter people, a lot of entrepreneurs later. So I didn't make time for it because I was working 7 on 7. But doing that, I think the success, I really I like the success of Secury360 and why we do it this fast and quite good. And we didn't fall. It's always falling and get up, but we didn't fall that much because I started with Secury360 by talking to a lot of entrepreneurs, friends that became friends in the past years. Okay, I have an idea. How should I do it? And I get so many inputs and I listened to everything and I used almost everything of the inputs. And it went to a great success from the beginning because I did it. It's not that easy. If you have a company for already 8 years, for example, and after 6 years you're getting a lot of input, changing the existing company is not that easy. You have your employees, you have your structure, you have your philosophy, so it's not that easy to change it. But learn from who did it, be silent and just listen. Don't talk, but just listen, and take all this information and then start it and really listen to the guys who already did it. I think I should do it much more faster and not thinking about just work hard and go for it, because you get smarter to just listen. And I also people want to help. I think 95%, or even to my experience, almost 100% of the people that I talk to, they just want to help. The bigger CEO they just want to talk to you. If you ask them, can we grab a coffee because I really want to learn from you?
With Frederick here, how would you choose, if you're listening so much, you'll have so much information from so many different people and different opinions, different approaches. How do you choose which is correct?
In the end, the opinions of the right people are pretty much the same. So in the end, I think, in detail, you get different things. But if you see what phase you are and you're comparing it to the next phase and the people that have experienced for the next phase, it's quite similar, to be very honest. That's my experience. So get them together in a brainstorm session, and at the end, you have different points, and they all say, "Okay, I agree with that." So that's my experience at this moment. But there's also phases that you come in. The guys that I should listen to when I was 22 were totally different guys where I should listen to now. So you grow yourself, so you need to also adapt those influencers at that point.
Fascinating. Thank you, Frederick, CEO and founder of Secury360. Thank you very much for coming on our show, Frederick. It's been amazing to pick your brain.
It was a pleasure. Thanks a lot.